Oh, it's Christmas. What a wonderful time of year. A time for wonder, magic, excitement, crippling debt, and a growing sense of dread that the next year might just be the same, but worse. Hi, I'm Hank Frank Bazooka. I'm the media representative for Ixtab Media. This year we thought we'd start our own publishing company, and it was a great idea, except it really wasn't. And we need a miracle. Not just any miracle, a Christmas miracle. Can we use Christmas music to save our company? There's only one way to be sure. In January, we set out to start our own publishing company, a place where minority writers could talk about something other than suffering, a place where working-class white men could talk without some overbearing, toffee-nosed Cambridge elite chiding them for daring to have an opinion, a place where, if you wanted to write about skeletons fighting crime with the help of a psychic gerbil, you were more than welcome to do so. And then, disaster struck. The government censored us, and only us, specifically. They banned us from leaving our houses, and refused to give us any of the money they were giving out to literally any other business that asked. Any of them. They all got money, except us, and only us. I know what you're thinking. At least we had money for advertising. And we did. How did that go? I hear some of you asking. Precisely nowhere. We paid large, multinational megacorporations thousands of US dollars to be ignored by a slightly larger audience than who were already ignoring us to begin with. And rent. We had to pay rent too. With the end in sight, our business doomed, we knew we needed a Christmas miracle. If we could get this Christmas #1, we would have something far more important than adverts. We would have social capital. Social capital, for the uninitiated, is why people are more likely to listen to an idiot with 1 million fans at head trauma than they are an expert trained in their field with only an email address. It's why crappy romance novels that glamorize abusive relationships outsell what some consider the perfect cross between Red Dead Redemption and The Witcher. Links in the bio. It's why we haven't been doing well, because we have no social capital. An advertising campaign without social capital is basically yelling into the abyss. You never know what will yell back, but it's usually nothing. You have to suffer through existentially draining hours spent talking to a fan base of zero, week in, week out, no hint that anyone's even listening. They probably aren't, because nobody ever listens. And then say you might go out and meet a friend, and they're like, "Oh, hey, well, so you've been quiet recently, what have you been up to?" And you say, "Oh, I've been busy because I started a small publishing company." And they'll look you dead in the eye, and they'll swear they'll buy copies, and they'll say, "Oh, sounds good to me, I'm glad to help, I'll buy a few copies myself." They'll see through that clenched, lying teeth, the little milksop liars. And you go home all excited about their transactions, and you check your orders, like you always do, to the point of religiousness, but they didn't order anything. Nothing at all, Tabitha, even though maybe I spent 5 years going to all your Amdram plays with your little theatre group when you were trying to become an actor, and you couldn't even bring yourself to spend 77 pence on the ebooks that are available on all we needed to do was find a musician, and then disaster struck. The only musician willing to help us was an anonymous avant-garde performance artist named Felix Lighter, which was probably not his real name. His songs, as best I can tell, are used to torture CIA prisoners, but as we said, he is the only person willing to help, and he had a DistroKid account, so we saved about $12 on registering our own. All we needed to do was turn Felix Lighter into a bona fide, legitimate pop star. And that couldn't be too hard, right? I mean, pop music these days is the same basic 3 notes, a drum beat on an 808, maybe a guitar or a ukulele or a piano. With that in mind, we could probably crank out Christmas #1 in about half an hour. And then, disaster struck again for what felt like the 7th time. It turned out creating inoffensive pop music for the masses would take much more longer than 15 minutes, and significantly more understanding than what we had. You need to know things like song composition, chord progression, lyrics, how to use instruments, where to find instruments, what exactly instruments are and how to put all of that information together in editing software to create a catchy little pop song. And we knew none of this. But this moment was a good one for us. For lesser beings, it would have been a grim final nail in the coffin, but for us, it was a good discovery. You see, when your only options are between mediocre and bad, you should always choose bad. The badder, the better. Because the internet loves bad content. Think about it. What was the most mediocre thing you've ever watched? You can't remember, right? But you can remember the worst film you've ever watched. Everyone remembers the worst of everything. So, rather than trying to make the best Christmas #1 song of all time, if we made the worst Christmas #1 song of all time, then surely the masses would help us realize our Christmas miracle, the one we've been deserving for so many, many years. We came up with 3 songs. 3 terrible, terrible songs, and our hope is at least one of them will catch the attention of the masses. If only one of them becomes a Christmas #1, our Mancunian candidate, Felix Lighter, could perhaps convince the world to buy all of our novels and short story collections, and then Netflix will option the series rights and we will make millions. Here's a sample of each song. May God have mercy on your souls. Hey yo, this goes out to all you righteous mothers who refuse to wear a mask, telling the man what to do.
How is that fair for me when I'm 32?
You know, this Christmas there's just one thing I want. One thing in the whole world. I think some of the rest of us do too. I want you to quit your job. For those of you out there who believe in Christmas miracles, the call right now is clear. Stream our songs in perpetuity, all day, every day, until they become the most infamous Christmas song on the planet. Then we can sell our novels. Then my dad can look me in the eyes with something close to pride. With our success becomes your success too, because we can then publish all your novels and secure the rights to the Silent Hill series, allowing us to create a compelling Netflix Silent Hill exclusive, which is our ultimate end goal, to make a Silent Hill Netflix exclusive. I want to be explicitly clear about this. It's not really about the novels, it's about making a Silent Hill Netflix exclusive. The good ones though, Homecoming and Downpour, nothing before The Room, because they were all dreadful, and only you can help us. The alternative to us getting a Christmas #1 is not even worth thinking about. Not only will we be forced to try other methods of advertising our company, but someone else will get the Christmas #1. Someone who already has money. Somebody you probably want to punch in the mouth. We would let you punch us in the mouth if it meant a Christmas miracle. They won't. Do you think these schlubby musicians will let you punch them in the mouth? No. They wouldn't let you punch them in the mouths, and they wouldn't even say thank you for promoting their music and getting them a Christmas #1. We would thank you by letting you punch us in the mouth. What we're saying is we really want you to punch us in the mouth. It's kind of our thing. What happens next? That's for you and Santa to decide. Mainly you, though, because... Yes, with your help, we could get the Christmas miracle we are all waiting for. Thanks to you and your manipulation of a musical streaming service. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to all of you. I just hope it is the first of many, many rewarding Christmases to come. We'd like to part now with special thanks to all of our many, many patrons over at patreon.com who have made it possible for us to actualize our dreams, align our chakras, and find it within ourselves and our collective subconsciousnesses to bring together this year's Christmas #1. And without further ado, thank you.